So, in a comment on the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar video I just recently posted, Rochelle1716 said, and I really appreciate this comment, thank you for sharing. Now that they're about 8 years out from the Revelation 12 sign that happened in 2017, do you think there's any significance to that happening? Thanks, Rochelle. Great question. And I'm here to do a video to answer that one. So here's my answer. Short answer is yes, there was a Revelation 12 sign that occurred on September 23rd in 2017. In fact, it was actually a more complete Revelation 12 sign in many ways than the one on 3 BC. So was it in itself significant? And the answer to that is no. This configuration, this Revelation 12 configuration, appears to happen every 7,000 give or take years, right? In various forms. Some of them are partial, some of them are more partial. The one that happened in 2017 was very rare because it was very complete. Okay? And so when we look at all the things you're looking at, right? Which is the sun being in Virgo, the moon at Virgo's feet, right? So the sun being in Virgo, that occurs yearly, right? The moon at Virgo's feet, that occurs every year, for about 1 to 2 days, right? So that's a shorter period of time when that happens in. Jupiter in that gestation period, right? 9, right? With Virgo, that occurs about every 12 years. And Leo plus the 3 planets equaling the 12 stars, well, that occurs approximately a couple times every century, right? So all of those combining together, right? That would be very, very rare. And so the 2017, where we actually got that, was a very rare coincidence. Now, why was the 3 BC one so significant? Okay, because you had the woman in Virgo. That occurs basically every year anyway, so that happened. The moon at her feet, yes. But it was a new moon because it was Rosh Hashanah at dusk, so it was not an exact placement, but the dating when it occurred was very significant, right? The crown of 12 stars did not fully complete in 3 BC, right? But it was mostly complete. Jupiter inside the womb for 9 months. That occurred in 2017. No, it did not, okay? But Jupiter was crowning Regulus and Leo, which is a royal sign. And the simultaneous alignment of all the factors on one day, well, no, that really didn't happen in 3 BC, okay? So 3 BC was actually only a partial Revelation 12 pattern. But that was significant for many reasons, okay? One, Jupiter performed a triple crown over Regulus, right? We talked about that. And that occurred 3 times due to retrograde motion. It's a rare event symbolizing a king planet crowning the king in the king constellation, Leo. That was significant. That doesn't happen very often, if at all. One of the brightest planetary conjunctions in recorded history followed, a star shining exceedingly. That would be Matthew 2:2. That would be the star potentially. That Venus-Jupiter conjunction, right? That would have been very rare. It occurred at Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets, which was in a very appropriate time for the messianic birth, right? Because you have the coronation theme of Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah, right? The birthday of the world in Jewish tradition. And many rabbis associate that date with the coming Messiah. And it fits many early Christian sources suggesting Jesus was born in the 3 to 2 BC timeframe. And this includes Irenaeus, Tertullian, Syriac tradition, and some modern chronologies, right? That's why I also did a video on the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar where they were looking for something that occurred basically what we would see in our calendar somewhere around the change from 1 BC to 1 AD, right? We were looking for something close to that. We had the change of the calendar. We had the priestly calendars, which is given from the Bible, with Zechariah serving in the temple, and that would have only occurred at a specific time. And then, of course, John the Baptist's birth occurring 6 months earlier, right? And that could be tied in, and that's from the Bible. So when you add all the circumstantial evidence of it, that's why the 3 BC one occurring was much more significant than the one that occurred on 2017. Not that that one was not significant, but there's nothing in the Bible that ties it to it, where we have multiple sources looking for an event that occurs right there at that changeover between, in our calendar, right, from BC to AD or BCE to CE, depending on how you want to date the changing of millennia. So that's why that was much more significant. We were looking for something that happened right about then, and that's when we got all this. So that becomes very important. So I hope that answers that one. But there is this question, though. What is significant that's coming up? Now, Christ told us, no man knows the day or the hour, and I will agree with that. And I'm not trying to set any dates here. But he also said, hey, sailors look in the sky and they can tell you something about what's happening in the next day or two, right? Look for the signs. There are things to look for. And if you look around at what's going on in the world, you can't deny that it just seems odd, right? We have wars, rumors of wars, right? We have all kinds of things happening around Israel right now, with battles and people lining up to both potentially sign a peace deal in Israel, and they're looking like they're going to attack at some point, right? There is things happening in the Islamic world where there is just a tremendous change happening, where people are coming to Christ in the Islamic world in numbers that have never been seen before. So something is happening in the world. And in the U.S., we're certainly seeing things with the rise of what we would call paganism, right? Pagan issues, the whole Earth, Gaia stuff happening on Earth, leading to that. The fact that there is this attack on Christianity, and there is multiple people who are turning from God. There's also a bunch of people turning to God, right? But there are people turning, and I'm sorry, I do believe in a spiritual warfare, and I'm just seeing many more signs of what I'm calling more demonic type activity, which would fit. Now, one of the things that's interesting is if you look at the recorded, I'll do some more work on this one, but if you look at the recorded testimonies of priests and pastors and such who are exorcists, who have documented their work, there's approximately 60,000 documented exorcisms that I'm aware of. And in most of them, when asked specifically, what do the demons fear? They fear a coming date that in all of these exorcisms that occurred over years and years of documentation, they keep saying it's getting closer, where they know that there is a coming time, just like with the swine. With Legion and all the demons that they asked to go to the swine, right? And they said it's not time yet for us to go into torment. There apparently is something there, and so there appears to be a big rise in demonic activity. So I do expect something coming up. Now, one more little piece of information in here. I'm not setting any dates here, right? Currently, right now, okay, it is in the Hebrew calendar, the year 5786. And we're saying, okay, that's pretty good. That's nowhere close. And so, and we have this theory that God works in sevens, right? And so there's 1,000-year reign of Christ at the end of this period. So we're looking for 6,000 years, right, before he returns and it starts that 1,000-year reign of Christ. Well, that's quite a bit difference there, Mark, except for the fact that we do know there's 164 to 168 years missing from the Hebrew calendar. Plus, calendars were not all that precise overall, right? But what happened is the Babylonian exile and the Maccabean Hasmonean periods were consolidated a little bit. And that's why we don't have the exact number there. But let's put it to some amount between 165 or so years and a little, sometimes up to 200 plus years. And you add that to the 5786 and you get really close to 6,000, if not more, right? And so if we go by this idea that God works in sevens, and so we're looking for 6,000 years before the return of Christ, because the last 1,000 years would be his millennial rule, then we're getting real close on the Hebrew calendar as well. So all those things together says, hey, it is time to start looking and be aware. No rapture theories and all that sort of stuff. I'm just saying, hey, there's 1,000-year rule of Christ, right? We would need 6,000 years before that happens to keep the cycle of sevens. I think it's coming. It's close. So, just muddle on that one for a little bit if you want to. And let me know what you think. Okay? Thank you very much. If you look in the description, there are two links. One is to my Bible study platform, $10 a month. We do all kinds of videos. We got courses that we're filling out and continue to do so. You get access to those. You get access to all of the transcripts of all the videos I post on YouTube as well, so that way you can dig into those deeper. Also, the Bible study platform is a community forum that allows you can ask any question you want. We'll answer it. We'll do our best to give you the answers you're looking for, and everyone can add their inputs. No one person has all the answers. I've been doing this for 25 years, but and I have got all kinds of different types of education in here, but I've changed my mind over the years on many things, and I've added much more to my knowledge base over the last 25 years. Everyone can do that. So think about that. That's the Bible study platform. And the other one is, of course, the link to a discount on a subscription to Logos Bible study software. It's the best one that I know out there, especially since most people run on PCs these days, right? And it's a little discount. And with the new subscription formula that they use, the entry point can be very low in terms of monthly cost. And so if you're going to do it, you might as well get a small discount, right? And so that's available in the description. There's a link for that. Also, think about liking, subscribing to this video, and subscribing to the channel. It does help us get the word out. So thank you all very much, and let me know what you think. I'm always interested in what you guys want.